Reform UK firmly rejects claims of electoral pacts with the Conservatives in local elections. Reform UK has firmly dismissed claims of any electoral pacts with the Conservative Party for upcoming local elections. The party's leadership emphasized its independence, stating that its focus remains on offering a distinct alternative to the Conservatives and other established parties. This rejection comes amid speculation that cooperation could help avoid splitting the vote in areas where Reform and the Conservatives share similar voter bases. However, Reform UK's position highlights its commitment to presenting its own policies and candidates across constituencies, aiming to grow its influence independently rather than align with the Tories. If you're looking for details about this situation or the positions of either party, let me know. As the political landscape in the United Kingdom evolves ahead of the upcoming local elections, Reform UK, a relatively new but increasingly vocal player on the British political scene, has categorically denied any rumours of an electoral pact with the Conservative Party. This emphatic denial underscores the party's commitment to positioning itself as an independent, viable alternative to both the Conservatives and Labour. The speculation over possible pacts arose from concerns within Conservative circles about the potential for vote splitting in critical constituencies, but Reform UK leaders have been quick to quash these rumours. The rise of Reform UK was born from the ashes of the Brexit Party, which played a pivotal role in reshaping British politics during the Brexit referendum and its aftermath. Under the leadership of Richard Tice, the party has sought to redefine itself beyond Brexit, advocating for policies on tax reform, energy independence, NHS reform, and an overhaul of the political establishment. Its mantra, focused on challenging the broken system, has struck a chord with voters disillusioned by traditional part. While its electoral footprint remains modest compared to the established parties, Reform UK has gradually built a loyal following, especially among those dissatisfied with the Conservatives' perceived failure to uphold core Conservative principles. This has led to questions about whether the party might consider collaboration with the Tories to avoid splitting the vote in areas where both parties target similar demographics. Denial of electoral pacts. In response to such speculation, Richard Tice and other senior Reform UK officials have issued clear statements rejecting the notion of any formal or informal alliances with the Conservative Party. Tice stated in a recent interview, "We stand for something different." Reform UK represents the frustrated millions who have been let down by the Conservatives and Labour alike. "We are not here to prop up the establishment, we are here to challenge it." The rejection of electoral pacts reflects a strategic calculation by Reform UK. Aligning with the Conservatives could dilute its brand as a disruptive force and alienate voters who see it as an alternative to the status quo. Moreover, Reform UK has criticised the Conservative Party's handling of various issues, including the economy, immigration, and net zero policies. Any collaboration would risk undermining these criticisms and diminishing the party's appeal. The speculation about electoral pacts also highlights a growing challenge for the Conservative Party. With public dissatisfaction rising over issues like inflation, NHS pressures, and ongoing Brexit-related trade tensions, the Conservatives face the prospect of losing votes to both Reform UK on the right and Labour on the left. Reform UK's presence threatens to siphon off enough Conservative-leaning voters to hand key local seats to Labour or Liberal Democrat candidates. However, a formal alliance with Reform UK could be politically damaging for the Conservatives. It would likely alienate moderate Conservative voters and further fragment the party's already diverse voter base. Additionally, such an alliance could be perceived as an act of desperation, signaling weakness rather than strength. The dynamics between Reform UK and the Conservatives are emblematic of a broader trend in British politics, the fragmentation of the traditional two-party system. While Labour and the Conservatives remain dominant, smaller parties like Reform UK, the Liberal Democrats, and the Green Party are increasingly influencing political discourse and electoral outcomes. This fragmentation reflects a growing disillusionment with the major parties' perceived inability to address pressing issues effectively. For Reform UK, rejecting electoral pacts is also about long-term strategy. The party is positioning itself not just as a protest vote but as a genuine contender for national influence. This requires building its brand, developing a robust policy platform, and proving its capability to contest elections independently. Despite its ambitions, Reform UK faces significant hurdles. The first-past-the-post electoral system in the UK heavily favours larger parties, making it difficult for smaller parties to gain representation in Parliament. To date, Reform UK and its predecessor, the Brexit Party, have struggled to convert their share of the popular vote into seats. Overcoming this structural disadvantage will require careful targeting of constituencies and continued growth in its support base. Additionally, the party must navigate the perception that it is a single-issue entity, still tied to the Brexit debate. While the party has expanded its policy platform, it must convince voters that it has a comprehensive vision for the country's future. This involves tackling complex issues like healthcare reform, energy policy, and economic growth with detailed action. Reform UK's rejection of electoral pacts with the Conservatives reflects its broader ambition to carve out a distinct place in British politics. By emphasizing its independence and commitment to change, the party aims to appeal to voters who feel let down by the traditional parties. While this strategy entails risks, particularly in the context of the first-past-the-post system, it also offers the potential for long-term growth and influence. As the local elections approach, the dynamics between Reform UK and the Conservatives will be closely watched. For Reform UK, the priority is clear: to establish itself as a credible alternative capable of challenging the political establishment. Whether this strategy will yield significant electoral gains remains to be seen, but one thing is certain: Reform UK is determined to make its voice heard on its own terms.